Alright, so today we're going to clean up the linear rails. I've got isopropyl alcohol and I've got white lithium grease. WD-40, that's the stuff that was recommended, so I'm going that way. I don't have a syringe, so we're going to try to just soak the towel and clean off the rails that way. We'll see how it goes. So here we have one of our linear rails. If you look inside there, you can see ball bearings, and that's essentially what's allowing us to slide. That's where you want to insert your lubricant. The sounds of it, these lubrication ports on the inside are sometimes fake. So really high quality ones, you can just shove grease into the inside of that center hole there, but I'm not going to risk it, so I'm going to try to get lubrication underneath here. When these ship, they have a bit of a shiny oil on it, and that's apparently rust prevention and not lubrication, so that's what you're trying to remove. One thing I'm interested in to see if this will change, there's zero momentum here. You flick it and it will essentially stop instead of sliding to the end. I'm curious if after lubrication that'll change. Lastly, you got your end clips here, so this is what's keeping your carriage from falling off completely. So once this is off, the safety's off, and this guy can slide all the way off. Careful if that falls off, because you're gonna have to reassemble everything, so I'm just gonna avoid that best I can. As far as other methods, I heard some people saying you can soak these in simple green, which is kind of a pleasing idea. I didn't want to do it in 2 days, so I wanted to do it all in one. So I'm just going to do this instead. Next bit, again, I'm going to try to get underneath there. Right in that spot. All right, one done. So one thing I'm realizing now, you can also just put your carriage in the middle and shove your needle straight into here, and that should get just about everything. So I've been doing that on top of left and right side. Okay, now go ahead and clean off as much of the residue as I can. It's probably a good idea to use kind of higher quality towels when you're doing this, because if you have any residue left over, it's going to screw up everything. All looped up, ready to go. And you know, interestingly, still doesn't carry momentum. Super. I was expecting these things to just be, but not the case. So yeah, that's all the rails lubricated and cleaned up. Ready to install them on the printer. The drives and the idlers have been installed. We've already lubricated and cleaned our rails over there. Now we just need to install them. So this needs to be done upside down. Okay, so did everything loosely, and then we're going to tighten from center out. Alright, so now we're going to work on the X carriage. I'm going to have parts, these two guys. So this part here, and then its counterpart here. One of these little 2-spot spacers. And then we're also going to use these guys later on. And then the opposite direction counterpart of those as well. So right now we're just prepping stuff with some heat inserts, and then also the accent part for the cable wires. And I'm using the drag chain with 3 holes. Apparently some have 2, and you just gotta print the right part for which one you have. So here's my drag chain, and there is the 3 holes right there. Again, I have my glass bed here, and that's what I'm gonna use to press down on the heat sink. Our heat set insert. Okay, so that one's done. Now we're gonna take these 2, these 3 parts done. Now we have the accent part. Looks like this one. Yeah, I want these to be nice and flush, so I'm heating up the ones that are a little bit out and then just pressing them back in. Alright, so next up, we're starting with the one, this nice little crook in it. That spot right there. And its counterpart. And the way you can check that you've got the right... So you're going to line up the 3 holes here with the 3 holes back here. And then make sure that you have this little indent. Tall bolt. In there. Bam. This is going to go on top of here. The bolt's going to go right on top. So on the other side, we're going to do 2 these guys. That one's just for structure. Let's go ahead and tighten that up already. I need a 20-tooth idler, one of these guys, right here with another M40. So those are right XY. This one's done. Go ahead and go over to the left. So, T-nuts and 3 and 5. You're gonna need 6 on one side for your linear rail. So we'll start with those, and then once again, make sure these are facing outward, or the hole is facing outward. Turning this 90 degrees. Put 2 M5s on the outside. So, flipping this back around, I'm going to go ahead and install this rail. Okay, so excuse me, there's 2 on this side, your rail, and then 4 on top. Nice. It's just lined up. These are my last 4. So now we can do the other side with this little wire holder right there. Alright, so we have our frame upside down. So the side without the end stop is going to have all 4 screws immediately. So here on this side you can see the end stop. So that side we're just going to put 2 screws in on the bottom for now. I need to loosen the bottom up a little bit to make sure that I can get to the actual launch. The guidebook mentioned not tightening up these guys. This is why you do that, because you might need a little bit of slack here. Or you will need a little bit of slack here. Nice full range of motion here. Sweet. Alright, bring the printer to right side up again. On our right side here, we're going to make sure to add our XY cable bridge. So, looks like you have to take the part off and then put that right there and put it back on. So, not too bad.
So the manual suggests going all the way to the backstop and then tightening everything down. Just make sure you go all the way back before you do it. Alright, next step is belts.